baby. All right, we are live on my channel. I am joined with three of my good buddies. If we can just go down the line. Cody, introduce yourself to us.
I am Cody Leach. I have my own YouTube channel under the name Cody Leach. Very easy to find. Do some movie reviews, music reviews, video game reviews, some other random videos, fun stuff, and talk with these guys on the regular.
And Durbin, introduce yourself real quick.
I'm Durbin. I also got a channel here on YouTube called Durbania where I do all kinds of movie reviews, movie talk, and I learned in doing this channel that Durbania is a genus of butterfly. I just thought it was a fun little pun on my name, but now I know it's a butterfly.
Huh. And Tyler, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Tyler Tompkins, and if you couldn't guess, I also have a YouTube channel where I review movies, TV shows, trailer reactions, and I do show off my Blu-ray collection every now and then.
And I am Sean Chandler. My main channel is Sean Chandler Talks About. I would call myself a reviewer, but I don't review nearly as much stuff as I thought I was going to when I started out because I just can't go out to the movies enough. So I literally just kind of talk about random things. So on this channel, real creators, what I try and do is just talk about the adventure of learning how to do YouTube. And so I decided to talk with some of my buddies who that's what we do behind the scenes. So I thought I'd bring them into the conversation. And actually, if I'm being honest, we're looking to do a live stream in a few days talking about Rogue One. So this is our demo to see if it will work to use Google Hangouts to do what we're trying to do. So with that, I'm going to ask them a few questions so we can just kind of all learn together. First off, let's start off with Tyler this time. How did you get started reviewing stuff on the YouTubes?
Well, like 2 or 3 years ago, I started watching YouTube. I believe Chris Stuckman was the first guy I watched, and I didn't even know movie reviewing was a thing and that people did it on YouTube. And all of my friends got tired of me talking to movies about them because they didn't watch nearly as many movies as I watched. So I figured, why not take my thoughts to the internet where I'm sure a lot of other people would watch movies too, and we would share similar opinions. So that's mainly why I started. Anyone
else in the group watch Chris Stuckman?
Yes.
I do as well. And
yes.
Cody, if you can tell us, how did you get started on the YouTubes?
Well, I actually was doing a podcast for a few months where I did very similar to what I do now, but doing a podcast is very interesting because when I was on SoundCloud, it seemed like about anywhere from 40 to 60% of my subscribers would be like one of those people like, hey, subscribe to me and I'll subscribe to you. And like, you don't even listen to my video or my podcast. And then I didn't want to do YouTube because I was intimidated by video editing, intimidated by shooting, because I've never done that before until my first video. And then I decided to bite the bullet, bought my camera, bought my stuff, locked myself in my room for an entire weekend, figured out how to do all this stuff. And here we are now. So just talking about movies, talking about music, talking about video games is something I do every day. Much like Tyler was saying, I was the guy in the room that knew way too much. So, you know, people would be like, oh, that movie looks pretty good this weekend. And they just look over at me and I'm like, so just a way to, like Tyler said, just talk to people who want to hear me talk.
And Durbin, how did you get started in this crazy adventure?
Oh, man. I got started in this just over a year ago on YouTube. And for a while, I've been watching Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Johns, and Screen Junkies. And one day I had a thought. I have opinions about movies. I could sit in front of a camera and spout off my opinions. And so here we go. And my main inspiration for starting it, though, was my segment Reading Way Too Much Intos, where I get all philosophical about movies and dig too deep into their plots. And, I just like to be a positive light and things like that. So, that was, the main driving force why I started it. But, yeah, about a year ago, I just got my stuff and used to do it in front of a green screen. Now I have a pretty fun set. So that's my story.
As for me, very similar sorts of ingredients as what you guys said of, I was the guy watching other people talk about movies, and in person when I talk to people like, how do you know all this stuff? Why do you know so many details? Why do you know everything that's coming out? Why can you tell me every movie that everybody's been in? And then I watched other people on YouTube, even on some of the main channels, and I thought to myself, I have better thoughts than this person, and I'm more articulate than them, and I'm more charming than them. Like, why are they doing this professionally, and I'm not even doing it as an amateur? So, and my background is in communication, whether through video, written, or speaking. And so then naturally, when I started to have some free time over the summertime, I decided to actually go all in with this. If you've checked out my channel, I put out a few things like 2-3 years ago. or 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago I put a little bit more stuff out, and then it never stuck. I never stuck with doing it, and then this time I actually went for it, and it's been a fun ride the last, I guess, 4 months now. So with all that said, starting with Cody this time, what is the most useful thing you've learned being a YouTube creator?
It has a lot to do with the last video you put up, being very, very particular about the titles, about the descriptions, about the tags, all the things that nobody really thinks goes into how much your video is going to be viewed. And I found out the hard way how important that stuff is. I figured as long as, hey, I got a good title, it says exactly what my stuff's going to be like. As long as my video is fun, people like me, I'm going to get thousands and thousands of views. 23 views later, I figured there was a problem. So that was probably the most useful thing, is being able to kind of coincide all three of those things while making the videos fun, making them, quality. Yeah, so that's the most useful thing I've learned.
Tyler, what is the most useful thing you've learned?
A lot of what Cody said too. Titles and thumbnails I found are very important. Thumbnails are extremely important, and also something I learned after a few months of doing videos is engaging with your audience, trying to respond to as many comments as you can. That really pays off, and I noticed whenever I first started doing that, I noticed kind of a subscriber boost, and my views started to go up a little bit. So I think it's always important to do that too.
Do you have any crazy fans that are just nut people that?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
there's a list. There's a list.
We'll get I certainly asked that question at the end. Durbin, what have you learned?
First off, a lot of the same things everybody else has said, the titles and thumbnails. My first several months doing this, I wasn't paying attention to the titles, to the thumbnails, to the tags. And once I looked up how important that was and started taking that seriously, boosted up my subscribers. But I will say another thing that has really helped me a lot was like finding this YouTube community. Like, I got a community of other YouTubers who I regularly comment on their videos. They regularly comment on mine, and we all comment on each other, and that makes it easier to collab and things like that. And so I remember my first collaboration, I went up like 20 subscribers in one weekend. And so I couldn't believe it. So I think one of the biggest things I learned is finding people who do what I do and commenting with them and, getting part of that community.
Yeah, that was actually the big difference between when I started this time versus when I started both times before. Is when I did it before, it was like, all right, I'm going to put something up there. I don't really want to join the community. I'm just going to throw something up there and hope people watch it. That doesn't work. And this time I went and I was like, all right, I want to be the guy that I want everyone else to be. So I want people to check out my channel, so I'm going to check out their channel. I don't want them just to comment, hey, subscribe. I want them to actually comment, engage with me. I want to talk movies. That's why I'm doing this. And so naturally, that's what I tried to be for a lot of people. And I tried to be that for all kinds of channels that I naturally was like, this is awesome. Channels are always more like just a person I wanted to connect with, and just a plurality of people. But the thing that I have learned throughout all of this is just the importance of consistency. And I say that even though I'm a wildly inconsistent person in my quality and because I can't stick to any plans, and I get excited about whatever my latest idea is. But even in doing that and knowing I'm bad at being consistent, learning the consequences of that, and because you never know which video is going to explode and be wildly successful. And if I forget to do something that keeps the quality up, and that's the one that gets 5,000 views or whatever happens, 5,000 people saw a bad first impression versus 5,000 people saw a good first impression. And there's I can see the big difference. Even just a couple weeks ago, tons of people watched my Guardians of the Galaxy trailer reaction. It's the worst video on my entire channel. Like, the audio quality is off. I mean, everything about it is bad. And that's the first impression for 12,000 people, 13,000 people. And it's like, okay, if that had been a good video, if I'd been consistent in my quality on that video, how much better could things have been? So that's that lesson I keep learning every time I have a successful video, and I realize those are all the bad videos that I put out. So with that said, what has been the most frustrating thing? Durbin, you're up first.
Oh, man. I think for me, the most frustrating thing is there is no formula. I mean, we've already talked about things that we can do, you know, the tags, the titles, the thumbnails, the community, and consistency. So you have that. But there's still no formula. For me, I've not found A plus B equals C. Like, I did Cars 3. It's the highest viewed trailer reaction, highest viewed video I have on my channel. And then I can't believe Spider-Man Homecoming and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 are only medium sized. It's like, what? Wait, aren't people searching for those more than Cars 3? So no matter what I've done, I found that there is no formula. So, you know, it's just constantly following the rules that we know and doing my best with that. But it's just frustrating to me that there is no formula. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's literally what mine was going to be.
Yeah, me too. That's literally the same thing.
Cody, for you,
Same
most
here.
frustrating thing?
Yeah, that alongside what Durbin said, because that's definitely the most frustrating thing, is that you can have a video, much like me and Sean were talking about when we did our Mummy trailer reactions. The video he did previous to that flew off the charts, and then we does the same exact thing on the next video, and it's like 100 views, and it's like, what the hell? But it's kind of going alongside with that. The most frustrating thing for me is that the videos that I really want to do to kind of set my channel apart from everybody, like the ones I did when I first started, my movie news, my top 5 videos, everything like that, aren't really what people want to see. They want to see trailer reactions, and trailer reactions. As much as I enjoy doing them myself, I don't want to watch people's trailer reactions. I want to watch the trailer and move on with my life. So it blows me away that so many people want to see strangers' reactions to trailers.
Yeah.
So
I don't know anybody that makes trailer reactions that actually are into trailer reactions. They're doing them because they know, hey, people want to see this, so I'll do this, but I don't want to do them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about doing them. I'm not specifically excited about doing them. But yeah, Tyler and I were talking about that exact same thing of these videos that we've put a bunch of time into. Like, I spent weeks and weeks on a video on how to fix Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls.
Oh, goodness.
The video that I thought, this is the coolest thing I've done. Most thought I've put into it. Most time I've put into a video. Months later, and I promoted it extensively on my channel. 100 views.
Yeah.
I walk upstairs I film a live video, my weekly live show. Someone comments at the end, the Guardians trailer just dropped. And I go, oh, really? I'll just click live stream again. Click live stream again. 15,000 views. And the video's terrible. 15,000 views. The one that I spend a month writing, researching, filming, editing. 100 views.
Yeah, what's funny is, like, I'd have videos like that where I put all this time and energy and planning and note taking and editing and trying to find little cool editing tricks. And then I post it, and I'm literally like refreshing my phone every 15 minutes, like, oh, I got 3 views. Oh, I got 6 views. And then I post a reaction to Ghost in the Shell, and I refresh once, and it's like 87. So
I did this thing called Durbin Experiences, where I go to experience elements from movies, and I've done 2 of those videos. Those videos require me to go to a location. They require me to get permissions to be at that location. They require me to have somebody to interview and talk with. So much work and editing and blood, sweat, and tears goes into those, and it's the trailer reactions.
Yeah. I almost feel like those creative videos and those ones that'll set you apart almost have to come in later in the game. Like, after you have 10, 20,000 viewers, and they're like, hey, here's something new, and they all come and watch it, versus if you try to start with that, everybody's like, dude, I want to watch what everybody else does.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree.
Yeah, and I know for me that the way I kind of think about it is that, I mean, they're almost kind of like marketing events of your marketing the personality that is you. And if someone likes that personality, then they click what other videos are there. And then you get not just the personality that's in a video, but the content that I would generate from that personality. And they can see there's other things throughout that. But yeah, it's so frustrating. Next question. We'll go Cody first on this one. What do you wish you had known when you started?
It's kind of like a tail end of the second question. All the videos I did when I first started, like my movie news episodes, my video game news episodes, where I would shoot for an hour, I would gather all the pictures, I'd make sure my facts were straight, I would do all this work. I even made like little bars that go into the bottom of my videos that had like the episode number and the topics. I wish I would have known when I started to save that for later and just do movie reviews, do some quick reviews, do trailer reactions, all that from the get-go. I probably would be at 600 or 700 subscribers right now versus sitting at 225, which is awesome. I love, the fact that I'm still growing, but I wish I would have saved all that effort for later on.
And Tyler, what do you wish you knew when you started?
Pretty much exactly what he said, but also too, I just wish I would have started sooner. That's just something I always wish I would have done.
Yeah, that too.
Because, like I said, I didn't even know this was a thing on YouTube. I just thought YouTube was something where you just go up to look up funny viral videos or fail videos. But once I figured out, even when I figured out that people reviewed movies, I still waited almost 2 years before I finally started doing something. So I just wish I would have started sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Durbin, how about you?
I'm going to echo the starting sooner. I was talking with Cody about this actually right before we went live. I had the perfect opportunity to start this channel back in 2009. And I just didn't. And so I've only been on for about a year. And I constantly look back on that like, why didn't I do that? I could have been on there when the Stuckmans and the Jeremy Johnses all started. Oh, my goodness. And so, it makes me so angry. But the other thing, I'm going to take this back to our first question is, I really wish I knew more about tags when I first started because I know I'd be sitting higher with subscribers and views as if in those first few months I just had spent an extra 5 minutes and looked that up to see how important that was because I was just tagging like movie titles and things like that, not realizing there's even this thing, Google keyword search, where it's a Google tool that you can see how people are searching certain things, and then you put those searches in, and like that has done so much. So that's another thing. Yeah, I wish I knew about that.
Hey, he's breaking up on my end. Is that just my computer? Is he breaking up for you guys too?
Who, me? Am I breaking up?
You're back now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was here the whole time for me.
Yeah, I could hear him.
My poor internet connection. Sorry about that if I cut you off. Did you have a final thought on that or?
No, that was my whole thought process.
Yeah, I can resonate pretty heavily with the starting sooner. Obviously, I tried to start 3 years ago, and like two of you guys know this. I don't know if Cody had mentioned this to you, but so I used to work at a church, and I just always kind of made me nervous because when you represent another organization and you're talking, I just got nervous about that, so I couldn't get too committed to it. And then I'm sure you guys have experienced this. People don't really they either totally get using YouTube for this type of thing or they don't get it at all.
100%
you guys experienced that?
Yes.
Back.
Absolutely.
I'm back.
Especially when you start doing heavily trailer reactions, because I always promote my videos on Facebook with all my friends. And for a while, it was like, oh, your stuff's really cool. It's really unique. And now it's like I feel like I'm posting trailer reactions every day. And they're like, I don't care.
Same here.
Yeah, I've got a couple of my former students at church because I still go to the church that I used to work at. And a couple of them run up to me and they're like excited. They totally get it. And they're like, yeah, man, I watched this video you did. And on the Q&A I did, the girl Veronica Palmer, that's one of my former students. And so then there's people that just totally get it and they're on board with it and they think it's cool because these are just the conversations they have with me in person. And then there's everyone else that's like, okay, why are you using your time like that? And, I don't know. It's what I like. Anybody that knows me know this is what I'm like in person. It's just the conversation. We now live in a digital era where all of this can take place with people all over the world. Actually, this is what I meant to say earlier about why I got started into this is that I've been posting on the comment section on Collider for 6-7 years. I've been posting on message boards about movies for 20 years, literally since the 90s. Following Ain't It Cool news.com back in the 90s. And just kind of went, all right, I want to drive the conversation. I don't want to just react to what someone else is saying that's annoying me. And like, this person doesn't even seem like they like movies. Why are you writing about movies? Why are you talking about movies? I'm going to get in on this. So that was the other one for me. And last question. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Last question, unless you guys want to, if you have some comments you want to make, I'm open to further discussion. But
all right, well, tail end on that same question is that your audio dipped out. But no, continuing that last question, what's even funnier too is some of the people who post in the YouTube comment section that don't get YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Like I've had people where, like the trailer reactions. I've had a couple of people where they're like, "The trailer is probably not the most creative use of your time," and I'm like, watching a reaction to a trailer and commenting on my reaction to the trailer is probably not a creative use of your time.
Right. Yeah. So to that, the guy that me and you were. Well, the high schooler, very clear. He was a high schooler that me and you were responding to on my channel. It was like, you're a loser. You're responding to comments on your channel. Why don't you use your time better? What?
And that guy continued talking for like 4 hours.
Yeah. And he kept saying, why do you keep responding to comments on your channel? And he's responding to comments on my channel. It's like, why do you not understand the irony in what's happening right now?
Yeah, that was a very entertaining couple of hours.
Yeah. So anyway, to that point, so I know my channel, I kind of try and make videos somewhat to troll people a little bit, to try and bring out the haters and everything. I intentionally will make titles that will incite people to make them angry with me, because then we get a discussion. And you're not going to get a discussion if you like take a totally vanilla path. So I kind of do it on purpose, so I get a lot of angry, mean tweets sent my way, or not tweets, but comments sent my way. How about you guys? Funniest, meanest comments sent towards you?
Oh God, who's going first?
I mean, the one I can. What? Okay, you go ahead.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Well, the one I got back in. I can't even remember the Keanu. So I went and saw that movie Keanu, and I thought the trailer was hysterical. And so I went into this movie with super high expectations, and I absolutely didn't like it. And I said that in my review. And I said it just wasn't funny. It was long and boring, and I don't get their humor. Granted, I was tired and I was being a little mean, but this guy, he's like, you need to stop doing this. Quit this channel, save yourself some electricity, and get off here. That movie is hilarious. And I'm saying it this way because it was like all caps. Like, this guy was angry. So then I just responded back. I was like, you know what? I appreciate the criticism. I got a spoiler talk here. Why don't you check out that spoiler talk and see if I address some of these other things you're talking about? And then he's like, you responded to me nice. I'll subscribe. I was like, sweet.
Who's up next?
I don't even know where to start because I have so many ridiculous comments on my channel. Like, Sean was a witness to one for like over a week. Like, this guy commented on my Metallica review, and he was arguing with me about something I never even said in my review. Like, I said, this album is the best album since the Black Album, which came out in 1990. And he's like, the albums in the 80s are better. What are you talking about? And he's like, he just kept going on and on and on. And eventually, and Sean can attest to this, he created a separate channel to argue with me with himself. So it was me versus him. And then Sean jumped in, and he's like, he started talking to him, and then he screwed up, and he was, the name to his channel was Blatantly Aware. And then when he was back signed on to his Blatantly Aware channel, he was like, yeah, I agree with Blatantly Aware. And Sean's like, aren't you blatantly aware? And like, I had that. I had a guy who, I guess his way to insult me, I'm going to give you the clean version, but on my Rob Zombie review, he's like, I'm sick of these Abercrombie and Fitch models. And I'm like, thanks. I had another guy who I was actually talking with like 2 hours before this video on my 5 ways to improve the DC Universe movies. I said before I even started my video, I'm like, all right, fanboys, I know, just chill out and hear me out. And then this guy comes in and he's like trashing everything I said. He's using like page-long quotations, and like the last reply he sent me, it took me like 30 minutes just to scroll through it. And I was like, dude, I shouldn't have to take a lunch break to read your comment.
Tyler, how have people attacked you on YouTube?
I should not have gone last because I don't have any that top that. But
hey, I can still go.
yeah. You see, but I mean, yeah, a lot of crazy ones that have said you shouldn't be reviewing movies, get off YouTube. But one that just recently came up. My mom's the one who actually told me about it. She thought it was hysterical, but it was on my complete Blu-ray collection video, and some guy was like, "All these Blu-rays, what a waste of money! Spend your money on getting a good haircut." Oh my God. I thought it was hilarious. So that's probably the best one, most recent. But thanks, Mom. Thanks.
Yeah.
Funny though.
YouTube. Yeah, you Chris Stuckman wannabe Abercrombie model. All these guys on here. Yeah, so I'll just read some from the last couple of weeks on just the last 2 weeks.
Sean came prepared.
This guy is so dumb.
Oh, God.
This guy is worse than Hitler.
That was mine.
You did a video with that in there.
Just shut your mouth.
Nice.
Great reaction. Not.
Is it the 90s?
Welcome, 9-year-old.
The 90s?
Is that when not was the thing? I don't know. Go on.
You pulled that one on me.
Yeah.
Get a life. You could be trying to make like a video right now, although they're pretty bad anyway, so just give up. That was from the high schooler that was like, I've got a way more of a life than you do. So yeah, they've been pretty great the last couple of weeks. Just shockingly dumb comments, shockingly ironic comments where people are watching my videos and telling me I should be doing something better with my time. And they're always on videos that are the dumb ones. It's the trailer reactions. It's the like, hey, I just watched Supergirl and I'm going to rant about it live. And then there's people that after they just watch Supergirl want to talk about, hear someone else talk about Supergirl and tell them why they liked it so much and I didn't. Therefore, they're angry with me. It's like
I felt so bad for you with all those comments you were getting, so I had to throw in comments like, I agree with you, Sean, which I did. That show is starting to drive me nuts. But I was like, I agree with you, Sean. I agree with you.
I had a guy, whenever I did my mommy reaction video, I did it with my son. And there was a couple spots. I mean, he's a 9-year-old in front of a camera. He's like, so we were doing a video, and he was waving his hands in front of my face, and I just kind of took his hand and put it down. And then the trailer started, and he was talking. I was like, hang on. And we watched the trailer. And then I let him speak, and we were interacting. And then I got a comment like 3 or 4 days ago, and he's like, "You're a horrible parent." He's shushing your kid and restricting his arm movement twice. How dare you?
Oh my God!
I got a little bit of that on some of the videos I did with my kids, or on the Cars one, because I didn't know if he was going to cry if I showed him the Cars trailer, so that's why I put him in the video. And people were like you're a terrible parent. You're trying to traumatize your kid. If my kid is traumatized by watching the Cars trailer, which I was going to show him anyway, I think something's very wrong if that's the thing traumatizing. There's enough things in life that are actually traumatizing. Mm-hmm. I think we can use this Cars trailer as a method to like prepare him for life.
Yes.
I think a worse one would be like, hey, come here and watch this Transformers 5 trailer.
Yeah, I think my next one, I'm going to watch Saw with him, the full movie, and see how he reacts to that.
Exactly.
Parenting.
Instant hit.
It's exciting. Did you guys have any final thoughts? Anything else you wanted to share? Let's go through the list. Everybody give one final thought on your adventures in YouTubing. We'll start off with Tyler this time.
Just to repeat pretty much everything we've said. If you think you have an opinion, start. Now, the time to start was yesterday. Start immediately. And I feel like even though we all kind of started a little late, I think we've done a good job considering how many people do movie reviews. We've done a good job. Oh yeah, marketing our reviews, and all of us are steadily growing, so that's always a positive. Obviously, we're doing something right, even though we can't figure out this crazy formula like Durbin was saying. So those are my final thoughts.
Durbin, final thoughts.
I think my final thoughts would be there's been times I've driven myself crazy with my analytics where I ride the highs and when things are going up. But if I lose a subscriber or two, man, I hit those lows, and it drives my wife up a freaking wall, like riding those highs and those lows. And it's like, so my final thought is, you just have to come down to, why are you doing this? And like, for me, this is just something fun. Yes, I want to see it grow, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it grow. There's good things to learn from the analytics, but to let those control my life and to ride those highs and lows like a roller coaster, no point in doing that, because like we said, there is no formula. There will be highs and lows, so you just got to do it for the fun of it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I very much those highs and lows, that is so very much the way I'm wired.
Yeah, me too.
Some of it's frustrating because like when you have kind of a trailer reaction video that's like this big hit, all of your analytics go up and everything you're measuring, it's like,
oh yeah.
And you look at your averages. Well, certain averages go up with a trailer reaction and other ones go down. Average view time just drops like a rock with some of those ones, but the other ones like go up. And then it just kind of waiting like, oh, I know this isn't sustainable. I know that this is going to drop hard. And then if like you have a couple, like right now, I'm just right now coming off 2 weeks that were just crazy high. Like just the last 2 weeks on my channel have been bizarre good. And so I know it's going to slow down for probably a month. And I'm going to be like, did I peak? I peaked, man, already. And then something else is going to happen in mid-January. And yeah, those highs and lows are just crazy and frustrating when I just want to hit a stride, like a consistent good stride.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's very exciting when that hit video gets 50% of your views for the entire month in 2 days.
Yes,
so
that is pretty awesome.
Cody, did you have any final thoughts for us?
I should probably start returning Abercrombie and Fitch's phone calls. But no, seriously though, and I'm assuming I'm talking to our live audience at this moment, is that if you're going to start doing this, or if you have started, even if you've been doing it longer than us, is don't get discouraged, because like we said, there's no formula, there's no stride, there's no wave to be rode. Be yourself. Don't get discouraged by people in the comment section. If it's best to ignore them, then ignore them. If you can have fun with them, like most of us seem like we can, then have fun with them. But just like we've said in this whole video, be consistent, do the titles and tags and all that good stuff, and have fun above anything else. Because if you're not having fun, then what's the point of doing any of it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess is my final thoughts is kind of building off things you guys have said, things we've said all along. But figure out your groove. Figure out what you want to do, what you're good at, what matches who you are, what you actually want to spend your time doing and talking about or making videos about. Because all of us were in the video review, TV talk type ballpark, and we've all kind of watched Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman types. And they make a very specific type of video. It's edited a very specific type of way, and it's not something that I'm like locking myself in on how limited their channels are would be the right thing for me to do. When I started out, that's what I thought I was kind of going to do. And then as time has passed, like I want to talk about more than that. That's not I don't want to narrow myself down to that. I'm not interested really in only doing that. I want to do all these other things. And so what does my channel look like to actually talk about more than that? And understanding that people want to hear my opinion about more than just whatever niche thing I started talking about when I initially started. So trying to discover what the best version of my channel is for me right now. And understanding that, just one of the ways to grow my channel is doing trailer reactions. I don't mind doing those. I don't mind because it's just talking about stuff. If the technology was here to do all the thumbnails and stuff for me, I'd put out 5 videos a day because I can just talk about stuff. It's all the other side to work to it that makes me take longer. But figure out the right pace for you, the right tone, what you want to do, and have fun doing it. So with all that said, let's kind of close out. Each of you guys, just once again, remind us who you are, where we can find you on the internet. And so Cody, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on abercrombieandfitch.com. You can find me. All right. But no, for youtube.com, I don't have a fancy little tag at the back of the youtube.com web address yet. But if you search Cody Leach, CodyLeach, I should be the top one on there. I think there's only one other guy on the YouTube sphere that even has videos with my name. So you can find me there. Facebook and Twitter, all that, the same exact name. Keep it
Durbin, how about you?
Well, definitely on YouTube. My channel is called Durbania, so you just go and search Durbania. I'm positive I am the only person with that name, so you can check out Durbania there on YouTube. And search Durbania on Facebook and Instagram and World of Durbania on Twitter.
Tyler, where can we find you?
Yeah, YouTube, just search Tyler Tompkins. I should be the first one that pops up. If not, Tyler Tompkins Movie Reviews. And same thing for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all that. And if you would like to come hang out at my house, I live at 4252 Broadway Street.
Wow.
Whoever lives there because I made that up. So.
We're going to see somebody on your little screen door right now, like knocking.
Let me in! And I am Sean Chandler. If you're watching this, you already know how to find this channel. My other main channel is Sean Chandler Talks About on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, but for my personal account, I'm on Twitter and the Facebook for the Sean Chandler Talks About stuff. I am not on there for Sean Chandler on Instagram for Sean Chandler Talks About. If you find Sean Chandler on Instagram, you will find lots of pictures of my kids being cute and doing cute things, and occasionally pictures of my dogs. That's what that will be. There won't be a whole lot of content about movies. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Check out each of their channels. Please subscribe to them, like their videos, join the conversation on their channels. Thank you for watching this video, and also the three of us, actually there's four of us. The four of us will be talking about Rogue One this weekend if technology decides to agree with us, as it appears to have done today. So check that out on my main channel. And with all that said, I've said thank you like 4 times, so bye-bye.
That's okay.